You're 6 years at North End, playoffs 3 times. We've got to talk about that. What do you remember of the playoff games? Because you played in pretty much every single one of them, the full 90.
Yeah. Well, there's the one in Sheffield. What do you remember of that?
Should never have lost.
Yeah. There's nothing game. I don't remember much. I'll talk about Cardiff after, but the last one was Sheffield in 2008 or something. And then I think it's just nothing in the game. You 1-0 up at home at Deepdale. You come back out, it's 1-1 for no reason.
Parky at the post, and we should have won that game. Should never have lost that game. We were better than them, and it would have been Burnley in the final, and we just beaten them like about 6 weeks before.
Yeah, so it would have been class.
We knew we could have got the better of them. Should have gone up that year.
Yeah, and I remember away, this 0-0 half time could go either way. They scored a wonder goal. Yeah. And then I think it might be Billy who had a chance or something later.
90th minute, Billy Jones off the line in front of the away fans, North End fans. So it would have gone to extra time. I remember it because that was the moment, wasn't it, where you're thinking that was the equalising goal. What about the other two? Because that was the one I was involved in, but you're involved in
the West Ham one as well. Losing to West Ham in the final.
Were you at West Ham at the time?
No, I just left. Yeah, that's why they got to the final.
So West Ham was the first one, my first year, and we'd gone through a bit of a rough start and of a season. Result weren't great. Eventually, I think Billy Davies took over that season, tweaked a few things, and got massive buying. The lads bought into him massively, and the team was excellent. We really had a top team. We beat West Ham twice that year. And then stumbled in a final, really, where again it was a bit of a nothing game, roasting hot atmosphere, and packed with obviously Preston West Ham fans, and not much in the game really. But I don't remember us creating too much. So there are a few things leading into the game where you're like, when you look back, you go, okay. I think we had something like Nuge was sick. Eddie Lewis had an appendix. Is it Eddie? Yeah, maybe Eddie Lewis had an appendix surgery 2 or 3 weeks. We weren't sure if he was going to start. What else? Well, yeah, so Paul McKenna had ripped his hands as well. He had pretty stitches the night before. Yeah, Brian's kid fell under like a piece of wood in a hotel in Celtic Manor, and you just go, but. It just probably wasn't the time, but the thing I would say is that in those games sometimes you have to approach them with a little bit of arrogance borderline, because I feel that you don't want to underplay yourself. I feel sometimes, and at the time, Preston. We looked at West Ham, we looked at those clubs and now, but you're there on merit, you deserve to be there. And so you've got nothing to fear really, and you want to respect the opponent, but not more than, and I felt that West Ham had a little bit of arrogance and now then they potentially could win on bits of talent here and there. And that was the difference really for us, so, and then the year after, Leeds was a similar thing. You get one up at Elland Road, finish 1-1 with then Eddie Lewis and Cresswell playing for Leeds, and so a lot of crossover and then at Deepdale it was just a disaster basically, where we were chasing the game. I remember Sean Gregan was outstanding that day. Just he had Danny Jigshaw, and we played 4 striker that day, but he had Danny Jigshaw and whoever else was up there in his back pocket, and then you just go, it's not going to be our time again. But those playoffs, I have to be honest, they and that's the beauty of it as well. That's why the championship is so entertaining, and that's why you've got outliers sometimes, like a Coventry last year, Luton Coventry, was it the final? Yeah. You've got Huddersfield over the last few years have done it, and that's why we're hoping for North End. Then sometimes we can be that team as well. Then justify the odds a little bit, and understanding that today the Championship's different to our times with parachute payment, and now for a club like Preston, who's not been there for 50 years, maybe, it's not that easy from a financial point of view, and the rest of it basically there is a little bit of a glass ceiling, but as I said, that Championship, sometimes you can defy the odds, and you just got to believe in yourself and add that bits of, we were not brilliant players at Preston over my 6 years. We had good work ethic,
Good dressing room.
The dressing room was good, so good team cohesion, group cohesion was good. And then, like, the difference, it was made from a Males or from a Nugent, someone who brought something that we didn't have, a bits of quality, basically, So,
but you don't have any regrets or anything about how it turned out, or no moments where you think, I wish I could go back and do it differently?
Not really, because at Cardiff, you look at it, you go, you can only look at the game. Yes, you win a header, you slip, the score, you look at the details of the game, and now, but in the end, you give as much as you get. You try and be honest with your teammates, honest with yourself, and obviously respect the shirt, respect the fans, basically, and then. In the end, sometimes, yes, you're failing, and I'm saying that with hundreds of brackets, but you hope when you leave the club in a better state for the next generation, for the kids coming through, for the rest, and then you go, do you know what, I've done what I could, here's the baton, good luck, basically, and that's it. But fans were brilliant. I thought at the time, we got bit of momentum, and now it fell a bit flat, but I wouldn't change much, obviously, in terms of what you can control as well. There's little you can control sometimes, so yeah.
Well, talking of handing over the baton and youngsters coming through, you'll notice that there's a spare chair and microphone next to you, and your son Noah is with us today. So come on in, Noah. Come and join the podcast.
Oh my days.
Now, whilst you get yourself settled in there, Noah, that must be pretty proud for you, Youl, to be able to see your two sons both in the Preston Academy and doing so well.
Yeah. Listen, I'm buzzing because I'm happy for them first, because they love football, and from the age they could walk, they kicked a bat. They were breaking glass windows. They were kicking my plants. I was trying to grow grass. No point trying to grow grass. We put some AstroTurf instead. We got them at a tech ball in the back garden, and so, because in the summer when you work into football, you can't really have a proper holidays. But I'm happy for them, because ultimately that's their passions, and like I was as a young lad, and now you just want to invest time on your passions.
What age was Noah when you thought got a chance?
I don't know. You're asking that.
No, but you're watching him. I'm a dad, and
I think.
So you look at it and think he's got a chance.
Do you know what? I don't think like that, me. I don't say he's got a chance. I just feel that, to start with, I remember our kids were playing local grassroots. And then Noah, I remember, grassroots, you train once a week, you play once a week, the rest you kick about at school and that. And so I remember one year thinking, you need to train more, basically, because one time it's just not enough. Like today, the kids, they spend a lot of time on those things, and an iPad and so I remember thinking, and then I took him, spoke to Levy at Preston. I said, hey, I don't want it to be a big deal. I just want him to train with better players, and then he might have been, was he 12 or something? and then I remember, and it's nighttime in winter, and I'm driving in, and he's about that size. But it's just like, oh my God, I'm going to train with Preston. Oh my God, what is it going to be like? And then after, I was like, oh, Dad, he was so good. Oh, Dad, this is that. But, and this is football, and this is your religion here in England, is football. And so every kid here, they want to play football, they want to play for their local club. And so the rest, I think bit by bit, you see stuff, you go, it's not bad. Actually, that's good. Oh wow, that's good and that. But at no point you think Yeah. They like, it's because it's just so much stuff you don't control, and around teenage years, you got growth spurt, you become all gangly, you can't move. You've got injuries, or you've got like those problems we had. There's a lot of, and there's still a long road sometimes as well, like so. But it's time well spent, because it's time not spent in front, hanging around in parks, going out, doing stuff that's not going to further yourself.
I've always found that interesting though, coming from a football family, because Mel's, you came from a football family. Yeah. Obviously, Noah, you've watched your dad play for North End over the years. Did that make you want to play football more or less?
Not really.
Because my dad sells holidays. I've never once been interested in being a travel agent. But when your dad's a footballer, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I kind of just played as a kid and I enjoyed playing it. That was it. At grassroots level at Preston, even now, that's probably why I want to try and make it. So it wasn't because I saw my dad playing football or whatever, but I did see things like day to day where it's like, right, this is what I'm going to have to do to get to this level, because I can see it, and I'm living with someone who's a professional even now, because, you still see it. So, I take things, but maybe without realizing sometimes. And I enjoy it.
Did you feel extra pressure? Because my dad was a professional as well.
Did you see him play or not?
I never saw my old man play.
So he'd retired.
So he'd retired, and I was looking away because I had an older brother who was 8 years older. Yeah. He wasn't very good, but he had all the pressure. Because his dad was a player. He's going to be a player. He's going to be a player, and he never was. But I was, so I never felt that pressure like he did. So to you, did you feel that pressure a little bit because your dad had been a player, and everyone's thinking, "Oh, you're going to be a good player"? Did you feel that growing up or not?
No, not at all. Not even once. It was just more of just finding the enjoyment, and that was it.
Yeah, I think it's in our aspects, everyone is slightly different, because you're talking more about personality, characters.
There's an expectation in England. If your dad's been a player, he's going to be good.
Yes.
You'll see it all the time. So there would have been an expectation with if they seen you watching, they think, oh, his lad's going to be good. So
I know, but it's also your characters.
Yeah.
I feel that Noah as a person is someone that takes things with a pinch of salt, basically, and is quite good at that, where doesn't get forced too much sometimes, and sometimes this, because of his personality, there's stuff that he doesn't probably realize as well, which is a good strength sometimes, just to be potentially a bit naive and but it's probably a good strength. Were you affected by that? Is it something that affected you, the fact that you were from a family of footballers?
In a way, it gave me confidence.
Yeah.
So did that give you confidence? Because I thought, well, it's in my blood, so it's in my genes.
Yeah.
So did that give you confidence?
No, it gives me more confidence than anything.
Why are you laughing?
No. I'm listening. No. Can you find Rosie then if it's in your gene?
You can.
I could.
No, but it does give me more confidence, because and it takes the pressure off almost, because I'm living with someone who's actually done it and actually been at a club where I am now and knows what it takes. So, you just follow instructions the best you can, and then you take bits here and there and try to find your own way.
Do you want to be better than your dad?
Yeah, of course. That's the goal.
Neil scored. Preston take the lead. And that's exactly what it means to Neil Muller to score in the West Lancashire derby.